What's going on YouTube? So you clicked on this video to learn how to play Salad, huh? Well, let me tell you something. Why do you not already know how to play the deck? Alright, anyways, on a real note, I know that's kind of mean. On a real note, let me see if I can adjust this camera a little bit. That's okay. That looks a little bit better. On a real note, this deck is super simple to pick up, and I highly suggest it for beginners in the game. Or maybe not a beginner, but maybe someone who wants to get into the more competitive side of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is definitely one of those decks you could pick up for a very budget price and play it in more competitive tournaments and stuff, and probably see some moderate success with it. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and talk about some, well, I guess the 101 of Salamangreat, which is you want to get Gazelle out. I guess it'd be easier to do it this way. You want to get, where is he? You want to get Gazelle out. If you could ever get Gazelle out, your turn's going to be 1,000 times better, because your Gazelle is going to send any of those missing pieces to the graveyard to then make your turns go even better. So the whole thing behind Salamangreat is you're getting cards into the graveyard to then recycle them using your Sunlight Wolf and or, what is it? Mainly your Sunlight Wolf. So yeah, you're mainly using Sunlight Wolf, which is an extra deck card, if you don't know, that is a link to for this deck that basically just recycles any of your Salamangreat spell and traps and any of your fire monsters. So this card recycles everything that goes to the grave. This card pretty much sends any of your Salamangreat cards to the grave that you might need. So this and this synergy keeps the deck rolling, right? The thing about this deck is pretty much the argument is you're always going to be able to play with this deck, right? Like, your hands are always going to have some kind of play. You're always going to be able to set up something, even if it is like a whole lot of nothing. So let's get a example hand, right? So let's say you have, I don't know, a Foxy, a Roar, a Buffalo, I don't know, a Falco, and a Signet Mining. Sure. Let's say this is your opening hand, right? I try to make that as random as possible. Could have just shuffled and drew, but we won't talk about that. Anyways, you draw your hand and it looks like a whole lot of nothing to you, right? Let's say you're looking at it and you're like, I don't see what I'm doing here. So there's a few different approaches here. Like, Signet Mining is your Gazelle. Buffalo is obviously your normal summon. Anytime you open Buffalo in any Salamangreat monster, you're pretty much normal summoning Buffalo 100% of the time. Even if you don't open up one, let's say you open up your Parallel Exceed, you're still probably going to end up normaling your Buffalo over anything. So Buffalo is your best normal summon. I guess unless you open Gazelle and you have no way to special out the Gazelle, right? So remember, Buffalo is always your best normal summon. That is a guaranteed. We don't play Lady Debug here because Lady Debug is garbage. If someone tries to tell you to play Lady Debug, don't trust it. Lady Debug is really bad. Anyways, so you're sitting here and you're trying to think, what do you want to do? So I highly suggest starting out with your Signet Mining, discarding either your Falco or your Foxy. It doesn't really matter which one, considering your Buffalo is also going to discard one. So at this rate, you could choose either or. For this one, I'm going to choose the Foxy, though. So we send the Foxy, and we go search for our main card out of the deck, which is... where is he? Which is Gazelle. Now, Gazelle's going to summon since a Salamangreat monster went to the grave. That's the thing about Signet Mining. If you send a Salamangreat monster to the grave using the Signet Mining and you search Gazelle, Gazelle will get its effect to special summon itself. So now that Gazelle is on the field, we can activate the Gazelle effect. So we'll use the Gazelle effect to send a Spinny to grave. So now that we've sent a Spinny to grave, we can go ahead and shuffle a little bit because it's the nice thing to do. And then we'll bring back the Spinny from the grave, right? And then we'll make a rank 3 play. So from here, we'll make Mirage Stallion. We still haven't normal summoned, by the way. From here we make the Mirage Stallion, detach, special summoning. Where is he? Special summoning. There he is. I think I passed one. Special summoning Jack Jaguar. We then, this is at the point where you probably want to normal summon. We then normal summon Buffalo. We then link Buffalo away for the Balinks. Balinks chain link probably 2 and Buffalo chain link 1. I think people usually do it the other way around where they make this chain link 1, that chain link 2, but I've had the issue of drawing the damn sanctuary, so I've always done it the other way around to where this is chain link 1 and that's chain link 2. So Balinks will trigger getting, where is it? Getting the sanctuary to hand. Now we gotta shuffle pretty good bit because this is where Flame Buffalo's effect comes into play, to where we will be to where we will be sending a card from our hand to the grave to draw 2. So now Buffalo effect triggers. You send a Cyburst monster. Keep that in mind. Buffalo can send a Cyburst monster to the grave to draw 2. 1, 2. I mean, you get desires and a strike off of that. You can't complain. And then from here, it's pretty simple. You make a link 2 for Sunlight Wolf. You then activate the sanctuary, relinking said Sunlight Wolf. Well, I guess you could argue this right here. Before you go that far, you could go desires, shuffle, not shuffle, banish 10, draw 2. So our banishes are Belgic, Strike, Parallel, another Foxy, and they're like not terrible. Okay, that is pretty bad. Getting the Parallel is kind of bad right now because we banished the other 2. You can still special summon it though and make it a level 4, but I think, right? You can still special summon it. Yeah, so yeah, you can still special summon it. I wasn't sure if it still became a level 4 without special summoning another one. So it still becomes a level 4, which is pretty important actually, now that I know that. So now you're here, and you could actually summon this once you do that, and you do have a circle. You could activate it now, but there's really no point. So we go ahead, we relink the Sunlight Wolf for another Sunlight Wolf. Huh. Wonder if it would have been... Oh. No, don't get ahead of myself. Alright. So you can activate the Parallels effect here, but then that brings up the issue of you can't bring out the Jack Jaguar. So you could this is where you have to make the choice of holding the Jack Jaguar or summoning the Parallel. And honestly, at the end of the day, you can't. And you want to know why? The Mirage Stallion. For anyone yelling at me in the comments, don't worry, I know. Once you activate Mirage Stallion, Parallel is dead. Keep that in mind. Because it keeps you to only activating fire monster effects. Now, it doesn't keep you from summoning nothing but fire monsters, but it keeps you from not being able to activate monster effects unless they're fire. Keep that in mind. I was just waiting. Okay, calm down in the comments. I was just waiting. We activate Jack Jaguar, send Sunlight Wolf. It was a learning. It was a learning purpose thing. Get off my back, okay? It shuffles back the other Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf activates Sunlight with special summon to its own. Boom, we get Gazelle back to our hand. That's a great follow-up. And now you're here. So you could actually set the circle, funny enough, or hold the circle is what I would suggest. And you set the roar and the strike, right? You make a link for the Balinks because you want to try to keep that roar live, and you don't know if they have a kaiju or anything like that. So you're trying to keep that roar as live as possible. And the reason you want to hold this in your hand is its second effect can actually protect one of your link monsters from a nib. So if your opponent drops a nib in your end phase, I believe you can chain this, well, I don't believe, I know you can. Like, you could chain this, target your Sunlight Wolf, and it makes your Sunlight Wolf not affected by the nib, but it will get rid of the other two. So that is something to keep in mind. So that's why you want to hold it in hand. That is just a really good follow-up. Like, this follow-up is insane. But you're ending on a strike and a roar. Pretty much the most of what Salamangreat usually does, right? Salamangreat usually ends on about 2 traps, maybe a hand trap or 2, and that's about it. That's pretty much all the deck's ever done. It's never been broken. It's always been a very, very, very fair deck. Like, this is probably the most fair deck you could ever play. But yeah, that is pretty much the basics of Salamangreat. I hope I explained it pretty well. If I need to do a more in-depth video of different kinds of interactions, let me know. And if you think I missed something or I messed up a ruling, let me know down in the comments as well. I was getting a little ahead of myself here and there. The Mirage Delio thing was actually a learning curve. I mainly did that on purpose, so it could be more of like a learning experience kind of thing, you know, like you can't activate non-fire monsters because you activated Mirage Delio. It seemed like a good idea in my head, then after it just kind of seemed kind of dumb, so. But, yeah. If you think I messed up a ruling, let me know. If you found this helpful, let me know. If you want me to keep trying to do stuff like this to bring some very simple, like, I guess you call this a combo, like a very simple combo and how the deck works, let me know down in the comments. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.